Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, St. Thomas man charged with abduction, robbery and assault of woman. A St. Thomas man is facing multiple charges after he allegedly abducted, robbed and sexually assaulted a woman in the Woodburn district of Yalas in January. Charged with assault at a common law, grievous sexual assault, robbery with aggravation, unauthorized access to a computer device, forcible abduction, and simple larceny is 49-year-old Anthony Graham, otherwise called Ebe, a construction worker of Springfield District, St. Thomas. According to reports from the Marantebe police, Graham hauled a woman who was walking along the road into nearby bushes and then forced her into the back of a motor car driven by his accomplice. They reportedly drove to a remote area where they robbed her of 2 cell phones, a Samsung A24 and an iPhone 12 Pro Max, along with her Scotiabank debit card. It is further alleged that Graham and his accomplice then demanded the passwords for the phones and her debit card PIN, sexually assaulted her, and left her in the bushes. The men later drove to an automated teller machine in Kingston, where they withdrew $24,000, the police said. The properties stolen are valued at $92,000. The incident happened on January 25 at 7:31 p.m. A report was subsequently made to the police and an investigation was launched. On Wednesday, March 26, the lawmen made a breakthrough in the case and Graham was arrested and later charged with the offenses following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Graham's accomplice is also being urged to turn himself into the police. Graham is set to attend the Marantebe Parish Court on Wednesday, April 9. Woman breaks down over potential $1 million fine for long-standing electricity theft. A woman who appeared before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court for stealing electricity broke down in tears on Tuesday when she was confronted with a potential fine of up to $1 million for the power she had siphoned off over the years. Octavia Johnson was charged with obstructing electricity after technicians observed illegal connections from Johnson's home to poles belonging to the Jamaica Public Service. The meter at the premises had been inactive since 2014. Appearing before Senior Parish Judge Sanche Burrell, the young woman pleaded not guilty repeatedly, even after admitting to the crime. Johnson detailed that she had a refrigerator, television, and a fan, all in working condition, which she actively used in her home. However, when asked if she paid an electricity bill, she said no. The accused also admitted that she knew other paying customers would be the ones billed for the electricity she used. However, she still continued to plead not guilty, to the frustration of the judge, who remanded her for several hours. When Johnson returned, she finally pleaded guilty to the crime and in tears explained that she was unemployed and charged with the care of her grandmother, who is visually impaired. "I didn't want to go to jail," she told the court, wiping away tears. Johnson revealed that her brother, who was in court to support her, was the sole earner of the household but does not reside with them, and her grandmother would have been left alone had she been served a prison sentence. After consultation with legal aid and the siblings who indicated their willingness to regularize their account with the GPS, Judge Burrell fined Johnson $10,000 of the potential $1 million fine, instructing her to work with a GPS and find a job as soon as she could. Negril man charged with murder over stabbing of 25-year-old bartender. Detectives have charged a 31-year-old man with a murder following the fatal stabbing of a bartender in Whitehall, Negril, earlier this month. The accused, Sadisi Johnson, otherwise called TJ, has been charged in connection with the death of 25-year-old Doral Thomas, who hailed from Whitehall Avenue in the parish, the police said Thursday. According to police reports, around 12:50 a.m. on March 15, Johnson and Thomas were at an establishment when a dispute broke out between them. During the altercation, Johnson allegedly used a knife to stab Thomas in the right side of his chest. Thomas collapsed, and the officers patrolling the area responded swiftly, apprehending Johnson, who was reportedly armed with a kitchen knife bearing what appeared to be blood stains. Thomas was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to his injury while undergoing treatment. Johnson was taken into custody and formally charged on Wednesday. Mother and the sons arrested in gun and ammo shipment probe. A Manchester bar operator and her 2 sons are reportedly in police custody in relation to the shipment of guns and ammunition from the United States. The news understands that the trio was arrested on Wednesday in Kingsland in the parish following an operation by the security forces. The operation was spearheaded by the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division. Indicom probing police fatal shooting in Mount Industry. The Independent Commission of Investigations has launched a probe into the police fatal shooting of a man in Mount Industry, St. Andrew on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as a 37-year-old laborer, Joshua Gray, otherwise called the Pops of Gordontown, St. Andrew. About 4:30 a.m., a police party conducted an operation in Mount Industry, during which Gray allegedly challenged the police with a handgun. He was shot and injured. The police say a Walter PPK pistol affixed with a magazine containing 5 rounds of 9mm cartridges was retrieved from him. He was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. 2 arrested following seizure of 2 guns in St. Andrew. A building contractor was one of 2 men arrested by the St. Andrew South Police Thursday morning following an operation at a bar in the division. The men have been held on suspicion of possession of prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports are that about 12:30 a.m., the police conducted a raid at a bar in Duhaney Park, St. Andrew. During a search, a 6 Sawyer P226 pistol affixed with a magazine containing 3 rounds of 9mm cartridges and a Taurus pistol affixed with a magazine containing 2 rounds of ammunition were reportedly seized. The 2 suspects, who are 35 and 28 years old, were taken into custody. The Duhaney Park police are investigating the matter. Clarendon woman dies following vehicular crash in Savannah Cross. A 31-year-old woman, Shanna K. McLean Gordon, succumbed to injuries sustained in a motor vehicle collision along the Savannah Cross roadway in Clarendon on Wednesday. About 11:45 a.m., McLean Gordon was driving a Honda Fit motor car along the roadway when she reportedly lost the control of the vehicle, which collided with an Isuzu motor truck. McLean Gordon, who resided in Mineral Heights, Clarendon, was taken to the Mapen Hospital, where she succumbed to her injuries. The 53-year-old driver of the Isuzu truck was warned for prosecution. The Mapen Traffic Department is investigating the matter. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.